And welcome back to episode 104 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Columbus Crew Assistant Coach King. What's good?
I like that. What's going on, man?
Shit, you know another one?
Right, let's get it. All around sports.
All around sports today. I had my eye on the combine. I see the combine just happened recently.
Yeah.
And I wanted to check out, well, I guess the quarterbacks is what pulled me in. And then I fell down the rabbit hole. I just wanted to see how my guy Desmond Ridder did. And did you watch any of the passing drills?
No, I just seen the updates on some of the drills itself. I didn't get a chance to see the passing drills.
I think the boy that everybody praises right now, Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think he is the clear all-around favorite. And I think he deserves it. I think he does deserve to be the clear all-around favorite. But I already told you my guy is Desmond Ridder, man, out of Cincinnati. I think that boy is the sleeper for sure.
Could be. But, when you play for Cincinnati, you know how that is,
As far as what?
I mean, Cincinnati, don't get me wrong, has been a top-ranked team before. But, traditionally, I feel like the average NFL scout is not looking to draft a player from Cincinnati as their number one pick per se in the first round, unless you're that cornerback from Cincinnati. I believe his name is Sauce Gardner. No, then that might be a little different. He's very special. No touchdowns ever in his collegiate career.
I think that I don't think that you're thinking about team situation. It's not about. Some teams may not need a cornerback, and they may need a quarterback. Right. You know what I mean? So everybody knows he's not going first pick. Right. Neither is the boy Kenny Pickett. They got him. Well, at least CBS has him going number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, to the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't have the teams per se, but according to NFL.com, you said Kenny Pickett. They have Kenny Pickett. They don't even have him going in the top 5.
I just said 6.
Well, not even in the top 10 either. They don't have Kenny Pickett in the top 5 or top 10 on NFL.com. That's interesting.
I mean, it's not. I only saw. I saw 3 quarterbacks per CBS, and that's Kenny Pickett at 6, Malik Willis at 9 out of Liberty, and then Desmond Ridder at 11 out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, NFL.com has him going 28th in the first round, which is interesting.
Got who going 28th?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to an NFL media analyst, Daniel Jeremiah, who also has a face. You know what? That's a side note. I need to start seeing if I can network with
your mic is low or something.
Hey, let me turn it up. I got it turned down a little bit. But yeah, that's the prediction by one of the analysts from NFL.com was 28, which was interesting. Does this sound any better?
Yeah, you good.
Okay.
You said 26 or 28?
28 in the first round.
I thought you said 26 at first. 28, goodness gracious.
Right. They got him going 28, according to Daniel Jeremiah from NFL.com. So, yeah, I mean, it's
I don't know how accurate that's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it. But, yeah, they got him 28.
There's still a lot of teams out there that need quarterbacks.
A lot of it's to do, you probably heard about the controversy around Kenny Pickett's hand size, him having smaller hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, that obviously probably played into whoever made that projection.
Man, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I think they're getting a little too deep. I mean, I understand wanting to be able to have a firm grip on the ball, but
Right.
he's very accurate. That's clear. I like his mechanics too. He almost kind of, well, look wise, and I mean, he kind of reminds me of a. I know he's not as big as him, but what's your boy's name? Herbert, Justin Herbert.
Oh, from San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Um, Herbert. Okay, that's an interesting comparison. That's who you feel like he kind
that's
of
just when I
looks
look at
similar.
him and mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see what this Kenny Pickett guy does. It's interesting to hear about a quarterback from Pittsburgh being one of the top quarterbacks because obviously Pittsburgh is not a college football wise is not a very dominant school or has notable too many notable players. A few over the years. Don't get me wrong. You get your Aaron Donalds, your Sean McCoys, your Larry Fitzgeralds from there, but
I mean, there's not too many top, quarterbacks coming out of top spots at the moment.
mm,
I mean, think about it. Like right now, you got Desmond Ritter out of Cincinnati. You got Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. EJ Perry out of Brown. Dustin Crum out of Kent State. Jack Cohn out of Notre Dame. Malik Willis out of Liberty. There's nobody there. There's no Alabamas or nothing like that out of those selections.
mm.
But I also think, like, when you look at who the fuck am I thinking of? Even shit. What's the name? Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
And
They're
Brigham Young.
right. They're not bringing kids out of conventional quarterback, factory schools nowadays. They're looking at the quarterback as a whole. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I really don't know if
Right,
that's a good or bad thing, to be honest.
right, right. Because to me, what ends up happening is you get these Zach Wilsons, you get these Carson Wentz is from these schools who aren't typically the big name schools that the players would get drafted from for those positions, and those guys just kind of seem like when they get to the NFL, they don't have a chance. Like they have a chance, they don't really
They don't live up.
they don't live up. It's like they were set up for failure. It's like where they went to, you know what I mean, in college that is, was they did well, of course, but it's like getting to the NFL was like a big shot, like a whole, I don't know, like the transition wasn't as smooth maybe for some. Like for example, like Mac Jones. Why was Mac Jones well, I mean, the Patriots are a better team than the Jets per se. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't know, like Mac Jones coming from Alabama happened to have a better season overall
Right.
transition than your Zach Wilson's, right? Like I didn't project that. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good point. I was actually thinking of that myself, but the only difference is, like you said, is there's a difference between New England and New York.
Well, that, and I also want to mention the head coach situation, right? Nick Saban can get his guys more NFL ready, no offense, than probably the BYUs or
Right,
the
right.
North Dakota States and stuff like, you know what I mean? So you got that on your side too. Like coaches that have been there in the NFL, they know what it takes. They have connections. They can get you ready, or more ready, I should say.
No, I definitely
Um,
agree with that. But I
but
also think that
yeah.
if you put Mac Jones on the New York Jets, I don't know that he does any better than Zach Wilson. Nick Saban came out under Nick Saban or not.
And you might be right. I mean, once again, players like Mac Jones might have just got the luck of the draw with the Nick Sabans, right? The Bill
Right.
Belichick's. And, so, I mean, hey, I'm not going to argue against that and say that you're not correct because that definitely could be the case as well. I can see that.
Yeah.
The Jets aren't a very good, I mean, shout out to Cali, but we all know the truth. The Jets aren't a very good football team. They're not, you know?
Nah.
Um, So yeah, I can agree with that. I don't think many quarterbacks, even some of the tenured quarterbacks, maybe they'd win a few more ball games than they did this past season, but no one's probably going to make a miracle out of the Jets right away without help, you know?
Right. And then to wrap it all up, I think to come back around to what you was talking about, I think you would prefer for your quarterback to come out of one of those, you know, quarterback factory schools.
Right.
But at the moment, especially with, you know, that whole likeness, name and likeness shit.
Yeah.
That shuffled the deck a lot.
Right.
You know, now kids want to shine, so instead I'll leave LSU and I'll go here if that means I can play and be seen.
You know, shout out to Deion Sanders and them getting, you know, kids to come to those, you know, those black schools, those black universities, you know what I mean? And getting them on the map and having a little, combine for those kind of schools, you know, themselves, you know? So, yeah, I think we're evolving. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like you said, as far as the selections and picks and where people are looking at, because everybody deserves a chance, right?
Right.
But
and
you know, just go ahead.
No, go finish your thought.
I was just going to say, just to finish it, just seems like the transition seems a little bit more difficult.
I mean, but to argue that, what about Trevor Lawrence?
Well, I mean, that's Clemson. Clemson to me is up there, right, with the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Florida's, the.
And you came out and you didn't.
Oh yeah, he's struggling. Yeah. Oh, you see what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always thought he was overrated, even coming out of Clemson. I thought he was good for that level. See, that's the thing.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
These guys might be good at a certain level, and that's fine. But your Joe Burrows, he gonna win you in high school. He gonna win you in college. He damn near almost won you in the NFL.
What you mean?
Super Bowl.
What you mean? Trevor Lawrence was the same way for real.
Hell no, you can't. Them two. I'd pick Joe Burrow over Trevor Lawrence any day of the week.
Oh, I would too. Well, I would. Yeah, I would
any
too.
Any day of the week. Any day. Joe Burrow is a certified fucking winner. He spells winner. He looks winner. Cuddy, man, buy yourself the newest encyclopedia or whatever dictionary this year. Look up winner. I bet you they got a picture of Joe Burrow these days with them certain glasses he wore in the playoffs. You know them cool Joe Burrow shades he had on, them light one. You know what I'm saying? He's a winner. He gets it done. What I'm saying is Trevor Lawrence and them, I'm not saying they ever might not be okay. They might. But a lot of these guys turn out to be your Matt Barkleys, your what's your boy from USC back in the day that came out, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, who's the other one from Notre Dame back in the day, Cuddy, Brady Quinn. You know what I'm saying? These guys were all hot. They're all hot in college, right? What's his name? RG3. He was hot in college. No, he was injury prone. I get it. But I'm saying he was hot in college, but I knew coming out, I just knew before the injuries, I was like, he's not going to pan out to be.
But he also came out of Baylor, though.
He did.
Baylor's not a
football school traditionally.
Team that's going to produce quarterbacks for you either.
That's true.
I don't know. I just think that motherfuckers is punching the ticket a little too soon on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's Jacksonville, number one. Number two, look at their coaching situation.
Well, at one point in time, look at it this way. Cincinnati was a worse team than Jacksonville, and that's how they got Joe Burrow. And they actually now, the year after getting Burrow, make it to the Super Bowl? I mean, hey, Doug Peterson ain't doing that with no Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, it also depends on who they put around him.
Right, that too. Now let's be honest. Yes, Burrow, for example, has Mixon. He has Jamar Chase. I think one other decent wide receiver. I can't remember his name. But anyways, you know, they were a shitty team too. You know, I mean, but Burrow is a winner. He just gets it done. Shitty team or not. Put it this way, you put Burrow on a good team, oh, you know he's winning the chip for sure. You put him on a team that's actually already like great, give him like, let's say the Chiefs or the damn Buccaneers or somebody, the Packers. Burrow damn near probably win you the Super Bowl. If he got you there with the Bengals, he probably wins it with another team.
I mean, that's fair to say. That's definitely fair to say. But I
don't know if Lawrence does it. Like, you put Lawrence on the Packers, does he get it done? Does he make the playoffs? Nope.
Nope. That's a fair point.
Nope. I just don't see him, you know, like taking it as far as a Burrow could take it.
That's a fair point.
A winning record, getting you to the playoffs, Like Burrow beat some notable. I mean, I don't want to give all the shine to him. It's a team game, but I'm saying like
But
when we're talking about quarterbacks.
we've also had a smaller sample size from Trevor Lawrence. We know personally motherfuckers that have been on this show that was ready to give it up on Joe Burrow after first season.
Well, not I, said the pussycat.
But you
not
also
I.
weren't the guy looking at him. You weren't watching him. You hopped on bandwagon after he started looking good this year.
Who's that? Burrow?
You weren't watching games. You barely watching games as it is. You weren't watching Bengals games, keeping track of what he was doing.
I wasn't watching him, but I will say this. I liked Joe Burrow since he was at LSU. Since the last year before he left, I watched him that final season for the most part. That's when I became a Burrow fan. You're right. Cincinnati, I ain't watching Cincinnati's games. I still won't watch Cincinnati. No, I'm lying. I may now for sure because I like Chase. I like the young guys. But I like Burrow. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't watch every one of his games, but I followed him since he left LSU.
Point
overall.
being, motherfuckers was ready to hang it up on Joe Burrow after the first season, Cincinnati fans. So
that's them.
So what I'm saying is you can't just judge. If we're judging Trevor Lawrence off of the one sample size of rookie season, what I'm saying is those Cincinnati fans would be done rooting for Joe Burrow.
Well, see, here's the thing. I was judging Trevor before he even stepped on that field. If you go back and watch the tape for me.
I think you're missing my point, though. I don't know that Doug Peterson does anything to improve him in his second year, though. That's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is we have more to view from Joe Burrow. Second season, of course, usually should be better if you are the number one pick and people have faith in you because now they know what pieces needed to help you get better.
Right.
So next year, we can look back at Trevor Lawrence's, Trevor Lawrence's stats and then judge it to the first two of Burrow. And I'm not in no way saying that I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be better than. I'm just saying I think that was a little bit more difficult of a situation that you were put in first year rookie quarterback.
I mean, I agree. Didn't have as many weapons as a Joe Burrow started to maintain.
And your fucking front office was in shambles.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers didn't know which way was up. Got a coach in there that didn't really want to do his job.
Wanted to kick the kicker.
Wanted to bring in motherfuckers that was already stirring up controversy. That whole situation was just rough to begin with. And then to bring him into that and judge him up against one of the best, if not the best young quarterback, that's a little unfair off of first year is all I'm saying. But out comes the new guys. The new guys we're going to see based off of these teams if they can, I would say second tier schools can produce good quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Because this definitely, out of this draft class, I would definitely say this is a second tier quarterback draft class. I'm not saying that we don't have good quarterbacks in it, but as far as the schools they're coming out of, it's definitely second tier as far as my concern. But your boy Desmond Ridder ran a 4.49 in the 40. He had the fastest 40 out of the quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett had a 4.67. And then that dude E.J. Perry out of Brown had a 4.6 flat. And then I know you said the wide receiver groups broke a record. They said this was the fastest wide receiver group of all time.
Yeah. Let me I emailed it to myself. Let me pull it up. Actually, no, I'll pull it up on the laptop like that. So, looking at my notes again, getting all my sources from NFL.com for all the shower heads out there who may be listening or listen back or watching. So with the wide receiver class, it was like you said, the fastest. I'm trying to find the exact article. I got so many of them.
Shit, all I know is my boy Chris Olave ran a 4.26. He had the second fastest 40 time.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor had the fastest. He ran a 4.21. And I think that's the fastest of all time now. But I also think that was an unofficial.
Here we are.
I don't know what they gave him for the official.
Yeah, so Tyquan Thornton ran a 4.28 40-yard dash.
Oh, that was his official?
Yeah.
Damn, that's so fucked up. Ain't that fucked up? Like, that you should be able to use your fastest unofficial as your official. Because if you broke the record in your unofficial at 4.21 and then you run a 4.28, I would be pissed as fuck.
Well, they might have used all your energy on the warm-up one rather than the,
Damn, that is tough. Official, he lost 7 points.
Yeah, so it says he headlined the fastest wide receiver class ever at the NFL Scouting Combine. Also, as far as the combine goes, something else interesting that I had seen was that there's an offensive lineman, and I want to know if you may have heard of him. His name is Daniel Fahili. He's an offensive tackle. NFL.com referred to him as a gargantuan. It says he is heavier than any NFL player currently in the league. And this rookie or upcoming rookie currently weighs 384 pounds.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
384 pounds?
384.
How tall is he?
Falili. Let me Google him. That's a big boy. That's a big boy.
Yeah, I want to know how tall he is.
Daniel, again, I might be saying it wrong, but I'm assuming Falili. He's 6'8".
6'8", 400. Yeah, I guess that's not bad.
Oh, he's huge.
That would definitely be
huge.
Yeah, they called him a gargantuan.
I wonder how. He's 22, November 9th, 1999, from Australia.
Goodness gracious.
He played for Minnesota University.
Goodness gracious. I saw the defensive tackle dude, Jordan Davis. He 341 pounds. He ran a 4.78 40. That's fucking crazy, man.
These guys are getting faster and faster for them being as big as they are.
Man, that'll kill you. That'll kill you.
Right.
That'll kill you. 341 pounds coming at you sub 4.8 speed on a hit.
Man.
As you're running in their direction. That's crazy.
Better hurt him get out of bounds or
yeah, because that's crazy.
Better do something. I'll tell you that much. Better do something. But yeah, so I had seen that as well. Also, as far as the combine goes, I had a couple other little pieces of information that I had came across. Looking here. Let's see.
And the dude Christian Watson from North Dakota State, he ran a 4.28 too. So there was a couple sub 4.3s out there.
Yeah, it says I can't say this guy's name. I'm gonna try to. Iki Ekawanu highlights fastest offensive line class ever at the NFL Scouting Combine.
Ikem out of North Carolina State.
It's Ickey. Iki, maybe it is Iki Ekawanu.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he hit the fastest.
They got him supposed to be going the third to the Texans.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I mean, some of these guys, man, they for the talent not to be, it seems like maybe as strong. Some of these guys were impressive at the combine with speed and all.
I mean, who said the talent isn't strong?
Well, we talked about as far as some of the big notable names.
Well, see, that's different. Tier. That's different from talent.
Oh, right.
Like that's And I know you weren't necessarily thinking that way. That was more of a misspeak than a thought.
Right, right,
But
right,
that's the kind of thinking, at least, that stops the kids from committing to the HBCUs, you know,
right,
because they
right,
think, well, it's not an Alabama, it's not a Florida or an Ohio State, so the talent level is lower. But just because you come out of those schools doesn't mean the talent level can't be higher. It's just the school you came out of. Now, this
right,
draft is just, in my opinion, one of those drafts where there are no shiny things.
right.
That's why everybody's hopping on Kenny Pickett's dick, because he's the shiniest thing we see.
Yeah, I can
But
see that.
this draft doesn't have too many shiny things. I think it's just all about workers. I think this may end up being one of the best classes for real. Just you didn't see it beforehand.
Right.
It's almost like that girl in high school that nobody noticed, and then like
Yeah.
when she graduates, she turned into the swan.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I
Hell.
see this, because I mean there is a lot of talent in this draft class,
Right.
and I
And I
feel like if
seen.
anyone could make I don't want to say a turnaround. What do you call it? If anyone could exceed expectation, it's a lot of names in this draft class that can,
Right.
or that have the
Yeah.
possibility to.
Had the potential. And
Mm-hmm.
I seen that it says Brees Hall, Kenny Walker blaze 4.3 40-yard dashes in record-setting running back night at
Yeah.
NFL scouting combine as well.
He had a 4.44 unofficial, so I'm glad to hear they got a 4.3 official. Pierre Strong Jr. had the fastest out of South Dakota State. He ran a 4.39.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Damn. Telling you, some of these people be booking.
Yeah, all the positions it seems like they're getting a little faster each year.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. This talent over time, is getting crazy with some of the things they can do as far as sizes, speeds, skills. Like it's just crazy to see, and to have three different position classes have record breaking nights in the 40. That's insane, man. It's insane.
I mean,
We're gonna have some speed. That just means we're gonna have a lot of fucking speed in the NFL coming up these next couple like Tyreek Hill and them.
right, they ain't gonna be, but that's how it is every year. Before Tyreek Hill, it was Chris Johnson and them.
Chris
Like
Johnson
yeah,
and Devin
there's
Hester.
always gonna be somebody who gets overtaken.
Right. Oh yeah. It's always somebody out there, what they say, bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. Yep.
And Father
Yep.
Time is undefeated. You can't keep that up forever.
No.
Your boy seemed to. What's his name? Um, Bless you. What's his name?
Thank you.
Danny Green,
Oh, for
the cornerback for the Washington Redskins back in the day. Was it Danny?
the sprinter in the 80s or 90s. Yeah.
In the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He was fast.
He kept
Yeah.
his speed into his
For a
late
long
years.
time.
I will say that.
He was shutting down rookies in his late years. I seen
Yeah.
that on NFL top 10 fastest players and different
Yeah, he
whatever.
definitely kept his speed, but most people don't keep their speed into their later years, especially at a wide receiver too.
Right. That man was a freak of nature.
Right. He sure was.
He
But
was
I
freaking
mean, with
nature.
all the talent out there, I know that y'all got a nice amount of picks in this draft coming up.
Yeah.
Look like
Yeah, we
10
got
I
three.
counted.
10 total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know we got 3 in the first round.
Yeah, I think 10 I
Here.
counted. But I also saw that the Raiders
10, yes.
and the
10.
Eagles had the same draft pick. I don't know if one article was before the other. Yeah, I saw they both had 123. Nah, second.
Oh, okay. Wow. So It says we have 10 draft picks, like you said, and then yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So we
I
got
saw the
that 10.
Raiders and the Eagles both had 123. I don't know if the Raiders gave it to the Eagles or vice versa took place, and the articles didn't get updated. But when I saw that, that did strike me as odd.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, unless I look at the updated mock draft or whatever it may be.
Well, no,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
know
really
why.
asking. I'm not asking for answers. I was just pointing
Yeah.
that out. That just threw me off. But what I was about to say before I brought that up was, out of all that talent with all those picks that you have, what would you like to see the Eagles get this year?
Um,
It's like
it's
that
hard.
wheel popped up on that chair there, boy.
I'm upstairs in the bedroom with
Oh,
it
good.
tonight. Yeah. Uh, hate to admit my true location. I'll tell you that offline. But man, here's the problem. Cliff, we need everything, right? But if I were to really rank them, like if I were to be the GM or the owner right now,
Right.
we need defense, bro.
Is that
Defense
all
is
though?
that's not all. We need
Well,
offense
I
too.
mean, I
I'm just
understand
saying.
you said you need everything, but what
Right.
you're saying is that your primary point of emphasis would be defense out of
We
that
got
first
to.
round.
We got to. Because we got your boy Devontae Smith, as we know. He had an all right first year, had that little injury, the little robo arm and shit that
Right.
he,
Little brace he had to
little
wear.
braids. Yeah, man. I think he'll have a productive, I hope so. Second year, he needs to put on more weight, like you said. Injuries are
Mm-hmm.
going to keep nagging him in the NFL if he doesn't. I think we need help on offense. I guess what I'm trying to say is we might be able to, because there's a lot to jump the gun. There's a lot of free agents out there, a lot of
Right.
notable free agents out there. So to answer your question, Cliff, we may not need to focus. That's the tricky part on the defense as much in the draft. I don't know. It just depends on what free agents are out there that we can afford and what
Right.
side of the ball are they on, and depend on like, okay, based off of that, do we go offense in the
But
draft
you
and then maybe
can't really wait. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but you
Yeah.
can't really wait. You can't select your draft off of your hopeful free agents because you may
Right,
not
'cause
acquire them until after the
might.
draft.
You might not. You might not.
I mean, just from the outside looking in, I would think you definitely need help for Smith.
Well, we got Dallas Goddard. I like him a lot.
Regardless, I mean, you need another wide receiver to take eyes off of him because you
I
know where it's
agree.
going. And like I said, Jalen Hurts has that whole comfort blanket thing where he looks whenever he's in trouble, he looks for two people:
Yeah.
Devontae Smith and his tight end.
Yeah. Yeah, we need another wide receiver for sure. But I mean, like I said, we need cornerbacks, we need safeties. We definitely need linebackers.
Y'all need some O line.
O line too. One of our old offensive linemen, Brandon Brooks, just retired. Jason Kelsey, he's getting up there. You know what I mean? Travis
Right.
Kelsey's brother. Running backs. We need running backs, Cliff. Our running backs, shout out Miles Sanders from Penn State. But bro, you okay, you're all right, but you're not enough. For running back, you're not enough
Right.
to
I
carry
like
that load. I like him too. I just don't think he's your starter. I think he's better probably as like a Tony Pollard kind of role. If we had a starter, he'd be better in that role, Miles Sanders. But yeah, we need a little bit of everything. Yeah, we need some help on offense. Definitely need some help on offense. So I mean, we'll see.
And
But that's my take on it.
I mean, but you didn't really say defensively. What do you think we need the most? You said that you didn't like Darius Slay at the cornerback position.
I like him. The problem with these cornerbacks, Cliff, that when the Eagles get them, the problem when the Eagles get these big name cornerbacks, right, is they must have played a different scheme previously, which had these guys effective. For example, like when Nominee Asamoah and Dominic Rogers-Cromartie came to us back in, I think it was 2010, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
They were god awful. Now, I'm not saying that they were awful as NFL players, because they were really good, obviously, but they were better in different schemes and on the other teams. Like, we need to find guys that are not just good, but that are good that'll fit our scheme. I think these guys aren't fitting our scheme on defense. Like Darius, but Darius Slay didn't have a bad. He went to the Pro Bowl. He
Definitely
didn't have a bad season. Yeah, he didn't have a bad season. But even him, he needs help. He's like Devontae Smith. At the same time, he can't cover the whole field by himself.
Well, see, here's my next question is, you said they don't fit your scheme, but if your defense isn't working, is it the scheme? Is it the scheme itself? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that you're trying to have these players fit a scheme that isn't working.
Well, so obviously last year we had some new coaches, right? We had some change, a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to, like you said, don't want to go off a small sample size of one season. I want to see, all right, now this time we got the second season. It's the same coaches, from what I understand. Should be the same plays or playbooks or similar or whatever. How are we doing with those schemes? How are we fitting in? Are we still struggling or are we not?
Do you feel like Nick Sirianni is more defensive or offensive focused?
I feel like he's offensive focused for sure. I think he's offensive focused. That's all he talks about to the media more is the offense. Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, obviously.
Right.
Jason Kelsey trying to bribe him with beer to stay another year. I don't really hear him talk about the defense, and that's alarming too. It's mainly just offense.
Now, who has the keys to make the picks?
Well, real quick, I also wanted to say Nick Sirianni came from Indianapolis as an offensive coordinator, so he is an offensive minded guy.
Right.
Who has the keys to make the pick? I think Nick Sirianni has the keys, but I think that there's going to be people persuading him, like the GMs and the owner, like, hey,
right,
we want you to, like, that's cool and all, but we want you, like, if they don't agree already, I can see them saying, we want you to lean towards this guy. Like, see, that's cool, but this is who we're actually thinking about the most.
The whole reason why I asked that is because I wanted to get an idea who you might be going for in the first round. And it sounds to me like offensive pieces would be coming in the first round based off that conversation. So
if I look at just this made-up projection on NFL.com, I was telling you of the ranking of the players coming out this year. I mean, I'm looking here, right? I mean, obviously we can't go number one, but in a perfect world, I mean, I'd like the Icky, like you said, from North Carolina State. I like Aiden Hutchinson from, that team up north. Sauce Gardner would be nice, Cliff, if he somehow slipped. But I would say out of these, let me see something else. I just want to see if this is different. Is this different?
CBS has them going to. Oh no, I'm tripping. Yeah, they got him going to the Falcons at 8.
I'll say this. They have Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback from LSU, who actually made a bold statement to say that he's the best cornerback in the draft. We'll see. He's projected to go number 12, according to NFL.com. So, I mean, he sounds like somebody that could be in reach potentially. Yeah. And then also, Cliff, we got to think about this. With us having 3 first-round draft picks, we may trade for a veteran or a notable. We may not utilize them.
I think who's y'all's middle linebacker currently? I think y'all need to work on y'all's core.
Yeah, our linebacker sucks.
You need to work on like your middle linebacker to, I would say, safety position, because y'all were giving up some deep shit. Like, it seemed like if you got beyond Slay,
that's what I'm saying.
It was a catch.
Secondary needs help, and the linebackers. The defensive linemen are okay. We got Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham was out last year. He'll be back. And then there's somebody else I think that was all right. But linebackers are nobodies. Alex Singleton, TJ Edwards. I mean, guys you probably never even heard of. They're nobodies. Nobody with veteran leadership. Nobody that's,
Because y'all are on y'all's way, right? That's the whole reason why I'm putting this point of emphasis right now on the show is y'all are on y'all's way in the right path. Right. The question is what you do, because you got a nice situation right now with these picks, and it's all about what y'all do with it to see how much improvement takes place next year.
Right. And we didn't get any first round draft picks if I can recall last year. So it'll be interesting to see what Nick Sirianni and the Eagles do this go around with
Oh yeah, he going
draft
offense
picks.
first. He going offense first.
I think so too, because again, he's an
offense
offensive minded
first.
guy.
And most people think like with defense, we can wait. We can wait for that.
Right.
Because I know traditionally in the past you could get a nice DB, linebacker, lineman, whatever the case may be, later in the draft, around the third round, shit like that.
Right.
But nowadays, motherfuckers are pulling them quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're pulling them defensive players quick out the gate.
Supply and demand.
The fact that you got 2 cornerbacks in the top 12 says something.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to wait around for your defense. But like you said, y'all didn't have no first rounds last year. Nick Sirianni's a new coach. This is his first year really dealing with all this. And he's offensive minded himself. So it's probably going to be offense first, which may not be a bad thing.
May not be.
But I know one of those 3 initial picks better be an O lineman.
I was going to say the same thing. We need an O lineman bad. That's for sure. You know what's funny, not to kind of switch gears, but I like to, just because, you know, with us being the host and the co-host, if I see anything on the Punk Ass Raiders, I like to be kind. I'm a kind guy. I like to, you know, provide those updates to you that I hear. You know, I don't want to be selfish, Cliff, and only talk about my team. So I got some information for you. Yeah, I got some information for you. So what I thought was interesting, and I wanted to get your feedback on it, was your boy Derek Carr. So there was supposedly reports that have came out from the Raiders, Josh McDaniels and some of those guys. And let me find the quotes and stuff real quick. New hit. So this is from March the 2nd, NFL.com. New head coach Josh McDaniels has no doubt Derek Carr is Raiders week 1 quarterback. How do you feel?
I think I like that. No, I don't like that he's a quarterback, but I like that statement, right? Like I immediately don't get upset when I hear that because he said week 1.
Okay.
That leads me to believe that he's open to at least the idea of having your 2 come in and play that position. He didn't say we're confident that Derek's the starting quarterback this year. They said week 1.
Right, that's true.
So that gives me confidence that it's at least being evaluated.
Well, February 26th, another article says
Carr, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but Carr may be great if he has a fire up under him. But we all know that when Gruden was there, he wasn't worried about his position being taken.
No, it was neighbors.
He didn't have no reason to be on his shit, and he didn't last year either.
He was now
at least, I may not mind Carr as a starting quarterback with him nervous about losing his position, but you at least need that. But that's what I was about to say. Go ahead.
No, that makes sense. I was just going to say on February the 26th, there's another article I came across that says Raiders quarterback Derek Carr on new head coach Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler. He says they've been great. So I guess the relationship so far has been pretty good on both sides. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
He's supposed to say that anyway. The fact that it's such a short quote gives me confidence as well. Because, I mean, you're media trained. You know you're supposed to say, you're not supposed to give up any, that fucks the team up.
Right.
If you say the truth, if you don't feel that way.
Well, this is, just want to reiterate, this is Derek Carr talking about his relationship with Josh McDaniel. Okay.
That's what I was saying. You're media trained. You as the quarterback. So if you feel like you have a issue with the coach, you can't say that out loud.
That's true. Yeah,
So
Tom
just
Brady
by
was never doing
saying
that.
short, you're great, that lets me know you probably got at least 3 issues on your mind with him, and one is probably the fact that he's making you work for that quarterback position. So I'm happy about that as well.
Yeah, and then the other information I saw on the Raiders is it was announced on the 28th of February that the Raiders and Jaguars will be opening the 2022 season in the Hall of Fame game.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you heard about that.
I did not. I did not.
Which I kind of thought, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm going to go ahead and say it, though. I don't mean to be
Say it. Get it
disrespectful.
off your
I was
chest.
thinking about it. Why the hell you got these two teams playing in the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, that's
the
kind of
Raiders
fucked
and the
up,
Jaguars.
right? Because I mean,
like what?
I mean, but at the same time, they may be thinking the Raiders are a fuck up team.
Right.
That now, what about a big comeback on the Hall of Fame game? I'm not saying Jacksonville is good enough to do it, but we all know if the Raiders are playing awful, they play awful. Any team in the league has a chance if the Raiders are playing awful.
Right.
But that's is kind of like disrespectful. Like, damn, y'all gonna do this on the Hall of Fame? Like,
out of all the 32 teams,
I bet we play bad. I bet we get the win, but we play bad. Because it's like track. Like, you always run to the speed of your opponent.
But it's a new coach, though, Cliff. It's probably going to be some new systems, some new plays, some new tricks. It's ain't the same Raiders team you've seen once before, Cliff.
Josh probably asked for it. He said, "Give us somebody easy. Give us somebody slight on the first go, so I can just
build his confidence up. Would you call him in boxing? A tune-up or a whatever fight? Yeah, a tune-up game. Give me a little tune-up game.
That's exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm. A little tune-up. That's all. And then I also had seen just a small highlight, but Buccaneers, Cardinals, Jaguars, Packers, and Saints will play international games in 2022.
So different. Overseas. So are they going other than just UK, other than London?
Other than London.
Sounds like it. Mexico should be
Mexico City is one of them. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mexico should be on there.
Yeah.
So where the livest place to probably play football would be, but the travel would be ridiculous. You have give a team a bye immediately after that week would be Australia.
Land down under.
Yeah, because they do the rugby and all that. I know a football NFL game there would go nuts. That motherfucker would do numbers.
If they were smart, they try to make it happen. Because hell, just as a side note, I know even in wrestling, Vince McMahon will take his big network Cliff to Saudi Arabia, and they love it over there. They pay big bucks. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that would be.
And that's a hell of a trip.
That ain't as bad as no Australia.
Right, probably not, but still, I'm sure it ain't cheap, and I'm sure it's a trip.
All the way, man.
NFL could afford it, though. Let's talk about that. We know they could afford it.
But shit, that's why I said you got to give them a bye. Because, I mean, think about even the practice. Like, when the travel itself takes over a day type shit. You can't you lost the whole day of practice.
Right.
And rest, because it's not like you can get off the plane and immediately go to practice. Nah, these players been cooped up in that plane for more than a day.
Right. Yeah. That's a long flight. That's true.
That's why it'd be tough, but I bet that would do numbers.
It would. I can see that being the case. And then I also had read up that the Saints created nearly $34 million in salary cap space by restructuring Michael Thomas, Ryan Ramczyk, Andres Pete. All their contracts got reconstructed, which gave the Saints now nearly $34 million in salary cap.
But that's not available, is it? Can't be $34 million available.
It says Saints create nearly $34 million in salary cap space. So to me, that's available, right? I mean,
remember the last show we did, like right before the Super Bowl, we were talking about how the Saints were $75 million over the cap.
Right.
So I don't know how they would have come up with enough to. They'd had to come up with 100 and something million just to get 34 million below the cap. And contract restructuring, unless you were paying these motherfuckers crazy contracts, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably trying to get Kamara back and some other things.
Because he was on the list too.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the list too.
Yeah, so we're going to see what them Saints are going to do. They got some big changes, right? Sean Payton, remember we talked about how he kind of randomly just stepped down, and Jameis Winston, they don't know if they're going to bring him back or not, or if he may go somewhere else.
Before I get back into my Raiders picks,
yeah.
Did you see that movie on Netflix with Kevin James about Sean Payton?
No. What's it called?
What is it called? Damn, you asked me too quick. I'm gonna have to look it up. But about that time where he was under investigation in NFL and he coached his son's football team to the they didn't win the championship or whatever.
So when Sean Payton was suspended, he was coaching his son's football team?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a way to buy time.
Mm-hmm. And the movie's about that. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. Let me look it up.
Yeah, you have to tell me about it. But I know you want to get into your Raiders stuff too, but I was just going to say, other than that, I had seen, like I said, that also Buccaneers Pro Bowl guard Ali Marpet announced his retirement after seven seasons. That's it. He pulled a Barry Sanders, didn't he?
Home Team.
Okay.
It's called Home Team on Netflix. It is good though. But what's the dude's name you said?
So Buccaneers Pro Bowl guard Ali Marpet announced his retirement after 7 seasons.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, I am. Just because, like I said, I mean, when I was playing Madden and stuff, you'd be one of the top, linemen. But anyways, yeah, he was one of the top linemen in the NFL. And of course, on the Buccaneers, decided to hang it up, call it quits after 7 years. Kind of early, but hey.
I mean, listen, they paying enough to where, depending on the lifestyle you want to live, you good after 2 of them.
Right. Now, would you, like I said, I wouldn't do, I know you talked about your Raiders picks before I jump back to some.
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting at. We got 8. We didn't talk about my Raiders picks. That's what I'm
saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We got 8, and that shocked me. I didn't think that we were gonna have that many picks in the draft. 8. I'm gonna say 7 because I don't know about that 123.
Eagles pick.
Yeah, that's throwing me off. So I'm gonna say 7. But either way, they say we got 22, 53, 86. Skip the 123. Then it's 163, 164, 217, and 226. Now, I'm not really concerned about the 217s and the 226s.
Right.
Because that's not going to end up being nothing but practice squad. You know what I'm saying? Unless you come up with a gym.
Right.
Unless you come up with a gym, an Antonio Brown or a James Conner.
Might get a steal. Might find a steal. Never know.
But I didn't expect for them to have all those picks this year. So I'm interested to see what they do with them with the new GM and head coach.
Yeah, let's see what Josh McDaniels does. Will he make smart decisions? With those picks, hopefully that's what you obviously hope for. But yeah, we shall see what the Raiders do. I know traditionally you guys don't seem like you make always the best decisions. Right. I feel like on draft picks, kind of like the Lions are in the similar boat. Well, they had some actually all right, but anyways,
I definitely agree though.
Yeah, well, I mean the Raiders. I mean, you guys are on the come up though too, Cliff. I mean, like you said, the Eagles and Raiders are really it's coincidentally they're kind of in the same boat to me, like at least a similar boat. Like they're not the worst teams, they're not the greatest teams, but they're right there in the middle pack, and they're leaning towards a better direction rather than a worse direction. I feel
Right.
like. Um, do I think the Raiders and Eagles will be there this year? No. Would I hope so? Obviously for your own team, yeah, of course. But I think in the next maybe 2 to 3 years, yeah, I think you can definitely see Eagles and Raiders maybe making a splash in the playoffs and making a run. Yeah,
I agree with all that.
yeah,
I agree
man.
with all
So,
that.
but yeah, what do you, Cliff? What do you need in Vegas, right? What do y'all need? What do you, if you were, right? If you're McDaniels, if you're the GM, Ziegler, what do you do? What are you trying to do in this draft? What do you focus on? Like you asked me,
If I'm okay, if I'm GM and we're going to go with Carr, I'm definitely picking up 2 wide receivers in the
I was
draft.
gonna say that, yeah, especially after what's his name
After
for the
Ruggs situation,
yeah, that's so crazy how that
yeah, I'm
because
definitely picking up 2. What was you about to say?
I was just gonna say, my bad. I was just gonna say because Ruggs and Devontae Smith were so close and they sounded like similar, and it just when that happened, it just really was shocking because it just seemed like Ruggs is a good kid, as they would say, like that he wouldn't. But hey, everybody's got demons. Shoot. But anyways, go ahead.
But
2 wide receivers.
yeah, I would do 2 wide receivers. I wouldn't do them both back to back.
Anyone in particular, based off what you may have seen in the draft or what you
I
think,
mean,
or
if you trying to replace Ruggs, your best bet is to go with an Olave or somebody like that if he's available.
who's he play for?
Ohio State,
I did see him on here actually,
he ran the 4.26. If he's
and
available at 22, I would pick him up just because that's the speed that you're missing with Henry Ruggs. That's what you wanted so bad, right?
right.
So snatch him. Or to do out of Baylor, the Tyquan Thornton, if he's available. If you want speed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, Tyquan Thornton,
If you want
boy,
speed, then I would go with like a fast wide receiver with your first pick at 22. And
boy.
then with that 53, I'm thinking about defense, like a linebacker, because we
Mm-hmm.
desperately need a good linebacker.
What about your secondary? How's that look?
We got Trayvon Morig, Jonathan Abrams when he's not hurt. I honestly wouldn't be against getting another strong safety or something.
Definitely, it wouldn't hurt. Yeah, especially with your guys' team. Yeah, that would be a good smart move. Strong safety. Now, off. What about the offensive line?
The O line's not a concern in my book.
I guess that
I mean,
I saw an article about Alex Leatherwood. He was a rookie last year for you
right
guys
from
from
Alabama.
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you guys moved him from tackle to guard, and he struggled. It'll be interesting to see. They said what you guys do with him as far as do you move him back to tackle? Do you try to keep him at guard and help him get better? Because I guess he
Right.
struggled a lot for you guys last year with that move.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. You never can do bad beefing up your offensive line. I will
Right,
say that.
right. That might give Carr more confidence too. I mean, if he feels like he has some more time, in that pocket.
I
But
mean, but it's not like he was a, had to. He had enough time last year. It was about what you did with it. Is my thing about it, and I'm
well,
not saying
you
yeah.
got Renfro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just dawned on me. I had forgot about him. My bad. I just had forgot about him. Yeah, Carr had a couple weapons. I guess you're right. And he had some time. Like it wasn't like it was bad.
Yeah, he wasn't scrambling every play. He wasn't. Put it like this: your boy Jalen Hurts was more impressive. because he had to make plays while on the run, under duress, whatever. It was always an issue with him, and he was still making plays. Carr didn't have that.
Jalen Hurts was running like a man, trying to keep his life,
Right.
save his life,
Carr
man.
got sacked a few times. He will get sacked a few times, but his line at least hold up enough for long enough for him to make a bad decision.
And defensive line sounds all right. I know Mad Max is always the talk of the town when it comes to the D line. It sounds like.
Still got Ngakwe under contract.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah.
we're good there for the most part. I wouldn't be against getting if we could find a nice D tackle, a nice young D tackle to put out there with them.
You don't hear about too many these days. Now that you said that, I feel like I don't feel like there's as many as there used to be. Like I feel like there used to be
It's
a
not
slew
the
of
it's
them.
not the what do you call it? It's not the glorified position. The edge rush is the glorified position.
Micah Parsons and them. Yeah?
That's the one that gets to the quarterback the most and all that. Your tackles usually just clog up the center and stop the run. They don't get the quarterback as much as the edge. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't be against getting a nice young tackle. If on defense, I would say give us a decent tackle and a decent. If we could, okay, let me stop. 2 or 53 are interchangeable to me between wide receiver, linebacker. If there's a nice linebacker at 22 that's still available, I say go with the linebacker.
Right.
But if you don't have anybody in consideration at that linebacker position and there's a nice wide receiver, go with the wide receiver. But I would say get the wide receiver in the first at the beginning, get you a linebacker and a defensive tackle, maybe an O lineman in the middle, and then towards the end look for another wide receiver. Maybe a safety. Throw a safety in there. But yeah, that's what I would say if it was up to me as far as the picks would go.
Right. No, I think that's some pretty good selections as far as the needs go. I can see that.
Because like you said, we do still have some wide receivers out there.
Right.
And it's not like I feel like other than Hunter Renfrow, the others are still attempting to find their flow with Carr.
Yeah, come into their own chemistry. Yeah.
And you don't want to take that away unless you plan on getting rid of. And I don't think we can afford to get rid of any of them.
Is Deshaun Jackson coming back?
That's a good question.
Let me see. Let's look on Google. Because he can still run some routes.
Yeah, I'm not against having him, but I would definitely like to replace him.
Yeah, he's older.
Not replace him. That's kind of disrespectful to put it like that. I don't mean replace him. What I mean is a younger player to come in and do that job, and then you just come in off the bench.
Yeah. It says he's still on the Raiders. He's still on the Raiders, it says. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not against having him. He is still quick. Carr just can't hit him.
Yeah, and he's 35, though. Deshaun Jackson just turned 35 back in December.
And that's no biggie to me as long as you don't have a high workload.
Oh, yeah, he's your age. Damn, he's your age. Right. Man, well, his 40 back in the day was 4.35. Yeah, he had the wheels.
Shit, there was a lot of people getting 4.35. I almost didn't even write anything above 4.35 for real.
Right.
Well, no, 4.37 looks like the highest I went, and I got.
They were fast.
10 wide receivers on this list.
Also, one of the things, kind of based off what we were talking about, on NFL.com, I was telling you kind of before we started that it had nice fits based off of free agency for each team, who they should sign if they can in free agency. And it said the Philadelphia Eagles should sign Harold Landry. He's an offensive linebacker for the Tennessee Titans.
Offensive
Um,
linebacker. You mean
I'm sorry, outside linebacker
okay?
for the Tennessee Titans. Um, it says he was one of three Titans to finish with 8.5 or more sacks in 2021, and that he would be a good welcome addition to help out Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and Josh Sweat. So
So what is he like a edge rush combo?
he must be. He must
That's what it
be.
sounds like.
He must be. That's what I was thinking. Let me see.
That's what it
I want to
sounds
see.
like. But I mean, I don't think that that's off.
Yeah, I've never had her. I hadn't heard of him until I read that article
I think your
personally.
issue
But
is your core, right? Like the idea, at least in my opinion, I know I'm no NFL defensive coordinator, but the idea is to have the middle locked down.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where your best players are. Well, not well. Your not your best. I wouldn't say your best, but your leaders. That's where your leaders are. Your good decision makers are right
right,
there in the middle to clog that up. So
right,
all they have to do is go outside to your skill players, your Darius Slays and whoever, pick up a nice, young cornerback on the other side, and then let your skill players shine with shutting down the edges. When if
right.
you do that correctly, then you know, and I feel like the Eagles' issue is their core is weak.
It is.
You
It's
have a
very weak.
weak over the middle, across the middle defense.
It's terrible.
And if
Terrible
you improve
defense.
that, you may make Slay look better.
Right.
Because then
I
you got to
agree.
force shots to him more, and he may get more picks.
Right. And I want to, because I was telling you before as well, they did the same thing for the AFC teams. So I wanted to quickly look at who they had. The Raiders,
Oh, as far as the free agencies,
yeah, who they
best
think
free
would
agents.
fit. Yeah, let me find you guys real quick and see what they came up with.
While you do that,
Yeah.
I had also did the Browns too, because I thought Britt was hopping on, well, possibly, of
Mm.
course. And they got 13, 45, 77, 104, 154, and 191. So they got 6 total. And them first 2 ain't bad. First 3, really.
Mm.
And I know Britt was saying that they need to be looking for a quarterback in that first round. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see.
Well, she
Nah.
got to figure out her team before she figure out these picks that the Browns got and who they should do and what they got, what they should and shouldn't do. She got to figure out her team. Okay. Because is it going to be Cincinnati? Brittany, this goes out to you, obviously. Is it going to be Cincinnati? Is it going to be Cleveland? It's got to be one or the other. It can't be both. They're in
Well,
the same division, the same state. Can't let it happen.
right.
I put my foot down on that one. You cannot have two teams in the same, because that doesn't make sense. That's like you being rooting for the Chiefs and the Raiders. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, you got to pick one or the other. You
Well,
know what I
maybe it
mean?
no, maybe it does make sense.
Well,
And the only reason why I say that is because it's not like she has 2 teams that are in multiple divisions to where if one team goes out here, I can still root for that team over there. At least
right,
these teams are in the same division, so one of them, she can't root for 2 out of that division. One has to knock each other off.
right, right,
There's no
right,
way for both of your teams to be in the conference championship.
right.
Like once they hit that, we see who goes on. I mean, I don't know. Either way, I mean, of course, it's.
And she pulled the switcheroo on us mid-season. That's all right. I'm gonna let her have it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save the rest for her for when we do see her again on here. I'm gonna save the rest for you, Brittany. Don't worry.
Listen,
Don't worry.
but yeah, I was just bringing the Browns up. I mean, is Baker your guy? Is the question, and I know you don't know that.
He's rattled.
I know. Let
He's
her tell
rattled.
it. He's not.
Yeah, he's rattled. He's rattled.
But
I don't know how much longer he lasts.
we also had the conversation, and if his injuries that he was saying he was suffering from and still playing are real, then I do feel like you gotta give him a shot and wait and see what he comes back like.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
right. Baker, I don't know. Baker is he's just hot or cold, and it's usually cold. That's the thing with him. It's usually cold.
That's not inaccurate. That's not an
Always,
inaccurate statement.
And he's always got some controversy going on. Like,
that's also not an inaccurate statement.
Right. What are you doing? What are you focused on? Are you focused on, is it Geico that he does? Or
Allstate?
No, it's not Allstate.
Not Allstate. What's State Farm?
It ain't State Farm.
Yeah, State Farm, and he does something else.
Oh, anyways, what are you doing, Baker? You know,
I mean, the commercials, the endorsements, whatever you want to call it, I don't see that as being any sort of issue whatsoever. I feel like the issue is that, like you said, your name has always been surrounded by some sort of controversy, even back in Oklahoma. So when you get to the NFL and you do suffer injuries, that's why I felt like the smartest thing for him to do would have been to sit out. That way, nobody has any ammo to use against you.
Right.
You had a decent to good season previously. If you sat out, nobody has nothing bad they can say about you.
Right.
But because you're surrounded by controversy and your wife is always saying something and it's this and it's that, and you're playing injured, of course they're gonna turn eventually.
Right. Gonna flip the script on you.
But if you just sat out and didn't say anything, they'd have been like, well, we waiting to see what Deshaun Watson does when he gets back. I don't know.
Right.
It's the same situation when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean,
not the same, of course. Deshaun's not injured, but I'm saying sitting out may have added more of an allure, more of a mystery to him, to where we still want to see what he does. So yeah, teams are going to be interested if the Texans are willing to let him go. Because we want to see the old Deshaun Watson.
Right.
And we want to see if you can still do it. We're gambling you can. I think he can.
He ain't played ball in a while.
But I don't think that means too much.
In the NFL, that game evolves each and every day.
I know exactly what you mean. What you mean. But the reason why Deshaun Watson was what he was because he was what he was at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
for a contract extension with Arizona. I mean, I feel like Kyler Murray is your guy, right, in Arizona as far as your quarterback goes. But what's going on, I feel like, lately with his leadership and his attitude, I guess you could say, his prima donna, like what's going on with that is my only issue.
I think that comes from, I'm not going to say, I almost said something very disrespectful. I think that comes from being spoiled at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think he feels like he has options, as he does.
Right.
He does. Like we said, we all know that MLB would love to have him, if he so chooses, to come over to baseball.
Right. Yeah.
And we all know that he knows that he's done more than expected of him in the league already.
Right.
And he's still young. He's still a very young man.
He is.
So I can definitely understand you acting like that if you feel like you got the whole world at your hands. I'm not saying it's right. It's the right way to act, but I mean, I think that could definitely affect his future in the NFL as a whole. But I also feel like he doesn't I'm not gonna say he doesn't care, but it's like I have options. That's why I do this.
Right. Right.
Because the man with no options doesn't do shit like that.
No, that's true. Very true. Very true. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I agree. Kyler Murray, he got some growing up to do, but I think he definitely should be the guy long term overall in Arizona.
I
And
think so.
I'd also seen that it said quarterback Jameis Winston was up and running for the first time since tearing his ACL. There was a video of him running on the treadmill. He actually looked like he definitely gained some weight, so he definitely needs to get in shape. But it's good to see him, trying to rehab and get back.
He's always looked a little fluffy though.
Yeah, he looked real, like he looked like Jamarcus Russell coming to camp.
Oh, for real?
Kind of fluff. Yeah, I was like, is that like
Jamarcus Russell didn't really look fluffy. That motherfucker just looked solid, big, just solid. You just solid big.
It's big, yeah, type shit.
And that ain't even a good big, just big, just solid. Right. I don't know.
Overweight. But shout out to a woman named Nancy Meller. She is now the director of scouting administration for the New England Patriots. She's been there a long time, basically just been grinding her way up through the organization. So
where did you get that story?
Shout out to Nancy Meller. NFL.com. It was titled.
What made you write that down?
Because it was titled "Next Woman Up," and I thought that was pretty cool. That she's coming through the ranks.
I mean, I didn't.
She's coming through the ranks, man. We love everybody.
I didn't even sound crazy. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, we love everybody.
We definitely love everybody, but I mean, I guess that's news.
Yeah, a woman, because you don't hear about too many women in the front offices, right? Or in the NFL is what I'm saying, especially. Like, it's not, like, it's rare that you hear that even there's a woman owner typically.
Yeah, I guess sometimes that's true. I guess
you see what I'm saying?
True. I guess what you're saying is
women, when it comes to sports, we know that they play sports. But when it comes to management and front office stuff, you don't always hear about that in the sports world. So I just was giving that shout out to her because it was an article.
I actually think that that's their lane.
Yeah, I
actually think that that's their lane in the NFL is front office, and I mean I like the female refs. I don't mind them at all. I think that I like the female refs, but I think that the management, the front office positions, I think that's their lane for real.
Yeah.
The negotiations, the eye for talent, I think that's definitely a woman's lane in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I would agree. And then did you also hear about the Packers are preparing a short-term deal if Aaron Rodgers decides to stay in Green Bay? I don't know what the details are, but short-term deal, I guess, is supposedly being worked on. Supposedly. Allegedly.
Makes sense.
You think he'll stay?
I don't. I mean, I think it's a possibility right now. I think it's a 60-40 at the moment.
Yeah.
A 60-40 split. And I mean that pun intended.
Right.
60-40 he splits.
Right. And then I also seen another story talking about Carson Wentz saying that he has been working out with the Colts wide receivers amid his speculation of his future in Indy. Do you think Carson Wentz will stay in Indy, or do you think he will go?
I honestly think he doesn't have a choice unless they offload him somewhere where he doesn't want to go.
Right.
Like somewhere that doesn't really have too much of a shot.
Right.
Yeah, I think he stays. How long is his contract with him?
Wasn't long. Hold on, let me see. I know it wasn't long because we had given them the rest of his contract, I believe. Let's see. Carson Wentz signed a 4-year contract. See, but that was back with Philly. Let me see. What
did they absorb his contract, or did they?
Contract details. He was signed through 2024 with cap hits of $27 million in 2022. This is for my Eagles, $25 million in 2023 and $26 million in 2024. Damn.
But that was for the Eagles, like you said. But what is the Colts?
Well, he's supposed to be signed with them through 2024.
So it sounds like they absorbed his contract.
They absorbed his contract, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he stays. I really don't think that anybody else would be dummy interested. I think the players that are desperate for quarterbacks are in a good position to where they have a possibility of getting one out of the draft.
Right.
I don't think that they're thinking about getting Carson Wentz, and it almost goes back to our conversation at the beginning of the podcast when you were saying the free agents. You gotta wait and see what you get in the draft before you start thinking about the free agents, you know?
Right.
So all those teams, which I would say is probably about 6 of them, that are in desperate need of a quarterback.
Right.
They're going to get cut in half after this draft is over. At the very least, cut in half. Yeah. So then the question is that a fit to where they would be interested in a Wentz? They may not even, they may be like, nah, we good with what we got. We'll wait until next year.
Right. Right. I think Wentz comes back for now, but I wouldn't doubt it that he may get traded.
Yeah, I think he's on his way out. I do think he's on his way out.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that, because it's almost kind of weird, because he's in a weird situation where he's worth a little more than the output you get from him. And he didn't have an awful year in Indy. I'm just saying he's the whole reason why everybody's still waiting on Wentz is because they want to see if he has that first year in Philly again.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think you ever get that. I don't think you ever get that out of him again.
And that's what I've been saying from the jump.
You have.
He was hot for one good season, half a season, whatever he lasted, whatever it was there in Philly. But after that,
that's fucked up, right? Because you would hope, right? You would wish that you have a season like that, like a Wentz season. Like you hope you're hot like that for a season. But it's so fucked up for that to be your first season. Because then you can't ever live up to it again. Then you can't live up to it again. So it's like, it's almost like that artist that you're a one-hit wonder. I made that hot first album, and then the rest of y'all just bought because y'all my fans, I guess.
Right.
But that don't work like that in the NFL.
No. It don't. And then I also seen, which is not shocking, I guess, but the Super Bowl brought in a total viewing audience estimated at over 208 million viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
see, that's why they're doing multiple internationals this year.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. It's
the NBA's been doing that too. Well, in the talks of doing that. You know, it's harder for them because they do games back-to-back weekly and ain't no rest coming off of a plane.
Right.
Especially internationally.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, that's all I had as far as NFL stuff pretty much went.
That's all we need. I want to touch on the Jorge Masvidal, Kobe Covington.
Let's get it. Yes,
and then we can wrap up.
Yep.
I mean, you already know how I'm coming. I'm definitely rooting for my guy.
Masvidal.
For sure.
I'm picking Covington, man. The reason why I'm kind of being hard on Masvidal is that fight against, what was his name?
Kamaru Usman.
You was talking all that stuff, bruh. Running your mouth.
Who, me?
Talking about you. No, not you.
Oh, I was about to say, I would have never been like against Usman.
No. Just Masvidal was just.
Well, that's where he's from South Beach. He's from Florida. He came up with Kimbo and them. Of course, he's going to.
And I did my homework. I want to say I did do my homework, and I'm looking here on ESPN.com for the UFC 272 welterweight main event. It says Masvidal is 35 and 15 and 0. Colby Covington is 16 and 3.
Well,
I'm
well,
going with Colby.
well, listen though, but see, here's the thing: you can't look at his record and think of it like boxing.
Right.
MMA is completely different. There are no undefeated records. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
John Jones is the closest to that, and his only one loss came from a disqualification against Matt Hamill, I believe.
Right. I mean, I may be selfish, but I'm basing Masvidal's performance that I seen in that Usman
based off
fight.
Last performance and record. That
right.
I understand why.
And I just feel like conclusion. He don't. I used to like Masvidal a lot, but I just feel like you don't got that same dog in you like you did. I feel like you had better days. I feel like
I think he does. It's just you run into different beasts.
Mm-hmm.
You run into different beasts, and Kamaru Usman is a different fucking beast.
Right. Well, just so you know, I want to point this out too to you in the shower heads as well. Masvidal is actually the underdog in this fight.
Clearly.
Okay.
Clearly. Colby Covington has been up there at the champion contender mark for past 5 years.
He just looks like he has that. I don't know. I hate to make it off of glances of people, so to speak,
off the eye test.
But even off of Colby Covington, he just looks like a man with confidence.
I would not be surprised if Colby won this fight. And while I said I'm going with my guy Jorge, I don't know that that's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Because Colby Covington's not Ben Askren.
Right.
Jorge Masvidal displayed his genius to me when he hit him with that flying knee in that Ben Askren fight, because so much happened that nobody noticed in that fight. Like, he stuttered like he was going to come out cool, and he knew Ben's going to shoot. He can't do nothing else but shoot. If you throw hands with Jorge Masvidal, there's a good chance you're going to sleep.
Right.
Colby Covington has hands. He can trade with him, so he's not worried about having to stand up with him, and he's not going to be just looking for the takedown out the gate. So I'm interested to see what his game plan is. But I will say, if it's a sit and wait, he lost.
Man.
Like, if Jorge Masvidal's game plan is to sit, wait, and counter and see what he's going to do and depend, he lost that fight. He has to come out aggressive or it's over.
That's what I'm saying. And I agree with you. And I don't know if he has that in him. We'll see.
I mean, I know he has it in him, but I also know he's getting older.
Exactly. I just like he's had better days. And like I said, I'm hoping that he puts up a good fight at least. Masvidal, that is. But
well, we got to give our predictions before we get out of here.
Absolutely. So what you got?
Well, you already said you going Covington.
How many potential rounds are there?
This isn't a championship fight, so it should only be 3.
Oh, damn.
But potentially there's 5. Because I've seen UFC do a couple fights that weren't championship fights that were 5 rounds.
Well, I mean, I'm going, like I said, with Covington.
Unless I missed something.
I'm going with Covington. As far as how I would weigh it, as far as how the win goes, man, I'm going by. So it's either what? Points, draw, submission,
TKO, submission, or points. I mean, TKO, KO, I put in the same category, but yeah.
Right. I'm going with Covington based off of points.
So
I say it goes
by decision.
By decision. I say it goes the whole fight.
Okay.
Unless somebody slips up.
Now, this is where yeah, I gotta go with my guy.
Masvidal.
Yeah, I'm going Masvidal. I'm going TKO.
It sounds nice.
I'm going third.
It sounds nice. Like I said, I mean, hey, more power to you, Masvidal. But like I said, I think your pride's been hurt for some time now.
I mean, that could be the case.
I think his ego's a little bruised.
That definitely could be the case. But I don't think you get bruised ego with 15 losses.
Well,
I think you learned it. If you can get 15 losses and keep coming back and fighting high level the way he does, I don't think the ego's that much of an issue.
Well, we're going to see. Depending on what happens with this fight, if he gets beat bad in this, especially, his ego may be a little shot.
Yeah, it's about time to think about hanging him up if that's the case.
You're right.
But who should hit the showers?
Oh, by the way, the fit that they said would be the best for the Raiders, according to NFL.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
was wide receiver Michael Gallup. If y'all were to sign him in free agency, they claimed that he would be a great fit for you all in Las Vegas. I wanted to mention that.
Okay.
Hit the showers. It's gotta go to my Lakers each and every time at this point. Los Angeles Lakers hit the showers. Hit the showers. Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis. I mean, what are y'all doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because listen, God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant.
My
if
guy.
He was still here, if he was still here, I bet you he would walk on the court and damn near slap one of these fools mid-game.
Listen, Kobe would have been through hands with somebody.
Through hands, bruh. Through a popcorn bag, then through hands with you.
He's stupid.
And if you got his shoes on, untied the shoes, took him back mid-game. But anyways, that's my hit the showers, man. Los Angeles Lakers. Who you got, Cuddy?
Since we going with familiars, I'm going with Derek Carr. Derek Carr hit the showers. I don't even need to see next season yet. Hit the motherfucking showers, Joe.
When he come back on that MVP race, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Get the showers, Joe. That's all I gotta say.
Speaking of that
race,
speaking of MVP race, I just want to point out, last to end us off, NBA MVP currently stands as
Joel Embiid.
Joker number one.
Oh, they bullshitting their life away.
Excuse me. Joker number one. Thank you. Joker number one. Number two, Joel Embiid.
Number three, DeMar DeRozan.
Giannis. Number four, DeMar. Number five, Ja Morant just moved on up.
Yeah, they bullshitting their life away. It should be Joel Embiid. I'll give it to Joker. I'll put Joker at 2. DeMar DeRozan, Ja Morant. Then I'll go with Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a long way to go, so it's going to keep changing. But
NBA.com hit the showers too.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share.
All that.
Wednesday at 7:30.
You know it.
Okay.
Ain't no orders about it, nigga. You know what time it is.
Well, hey, just gotta make sure,
Tune in, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep, get at us.
Do that. We out.